Happy Monday, folks, and welcome back to Sportsology. I am your host, Ryan Kostrowski. I hope you guys had a lovely weekend up here in the Midwest. We had just some awesome weather. I had a great opportunity to get outside, spend some time with my kids, and just go outside and play. You know, we get cooped up a long time up here in the upper Midwest. So once the spring or almost summer comes full force like this, it is just wonderful to get outside, spend time with your friends or family, but just not be indoors. So if you're new to the show, Sportsology is kind of a mashup mixture of my two specialties, my two things I do, which is technology and then daily fantasy sports. So all day long, I'm a technology advisor for Enterprise Systems Group. We service all of Wisconsin, Upper Michigan, Northern Illinois. Pretty much anything right outside of the Wisconsin area is going to kind of be our sweet spot. I do that all day long, and then at nighttime, I help people set daily fantasy sports lineups. Obviously, this time of the year, we're talking baseball. So once I spend about 2 minutes on technology, I will go through my cash lineup. As of right now, it's very early in the day for DraftKings on what I'm going to do for MLB. Now, if you're watching this, if you could help me out, I appreciate anybody who's willing to retweet this, share it, like it, subscribe to this channel. Subscribing to the channel is the easiest way for people to get notifications of a new video. I probably get on here about 3-4 times a week. Anyway, let's talk technology today. And I want to bring up somebody that I do bring up quite often, and I do bring them up a lot just because I've been very impressed by their company, by their product, and ultimately what they stand for, and that is Ruckus Wireless. Now, most businesses these days do have wireless in place and have had it for a long time. There's actually a lot of companies now going through a second or even a third refresh of what their wireless consists of. If you have never taken a look at Ruckus, I highly, highly recommend doing so. First reason why, and I'm just going to kind of go through some of the basics. What does everybody want when they buy something? They want great service or product or quality for not a lot of money, right? We want a lot of bang for our buck. We want what we call value, right? Well, Ruckus offers tremendous value. We're finding a lot of times we can put them in for less than some of the other well-known brands out there, and we can offer better coverage. So if you can get better coverage at less money, I mean, really, what's not to like there? The big reason why is they approach the whole wireless idea just a little bit differently than a lot of your other big providers out there. They have this patented BeamFlex technology, and it really focuses on the connection as opposed to just blanket coverage. Think about it this way. I'm in my office right now. It's approximately, 10 by 10. I'm really just sitting in this one spot most of the time. So if I got a connection from my AP right outside the door right there, I'm going to have great service on my phone or on my laptop or anything like that. I'm not walking around. I'm not moving up to the corner of the ceiling. I don't need coverage up there. I need that connection to be great as opposed to just flooding the room. It's just me in here. That's one way to look at it. A very, very non-complex way of looking at it. You can get much more technical, but if you would like to, I would set you up actually with our in-house expert. They do things like they're great in a warehouse situation, which can be a little bit trickier, or other complex environments like that. They're very easy support on the back end. Now, that's never been my job. I'm not saying that I think they're easy to support. What I've been told by my clients is that on their end, it is very easy to support, mainly because I almost never have to touch it, which is ultimately what you're looking for. Now, if you would like to find out more about Ruckus Wireless, simply send me an email. We can set up a time to talk, and then I would bring in one of my actual wireless engineers in, and they can give you any details on what you're looking for. But I do believe very, very strongly in the Ruckus product, and we're very appreciative of their partnership here at ESG because we've done a lot of work with them, a lot of work in schools too, and they've just always done a great job for us. So now we have talked Ruckus. Let's talk a little fantasy sports for tonight. Obviously, like I talked about already, we're going to go baseball, and I'm going to run through my cash lineup. Now, when I talk about it this early in the day, remember, I've probably only spent 10 minutes just kind of looking through it, just going through the basics. A lot of this is open for change, but hopefully it'll give you a baseline and a few ideas for tonight. Now, today starts the Clayton Kershaw conundrum. He's $14,000. That is a large part of your salary, but how do you not play him, right? I mean, when we talk cash game, I mean, look at this guy's results: 39.6, 52.9, 31, 55.5. His low starts on the year are 21, and at that price, he's not even going to kill you anyway, and he's going to have good ownership. The problem with fading him is if you move on down to like a Cueto, and Cueto grabs 15 and Kershaw gets 40, for that extra whatever it is, not a lot of money, it's just not worth it. So we go Kershaw, and then we already know that we're going to have to go light on hitters. And the secondary pitcher I went with, to me, was kind of a no-brainer today. And that is the underrated, not talked about enough, Drew Pomeranz, who's been absolutely dominant this year with his 1.96 ERA. Now, I think a lot of times people overrate the win on DraftKings. They think it's more important that your pitcher gets the win. I quite frankly don't care about the win. I do not play for the win on DraftKings. On FanDuel, that's a totally different story. But on DraftKings, I do not worry about the win because it's hard to predict and it's only 4 points, which is the equivalent of less than 2 innings, a no-hit ball, or 2 strikeouts. So don't worry about it. It's nice. Consider it a bonus, but don't play for it. And Pomerantz has been shutting down everybody. I don't care if he's at San Francisco. San Francisco hasn't hit that much lately. I mean, they had one decent day off Lester the other day, but they one-run winned Kyle Hendricks last night. So Pomerantz has been dominant this year. Let's roll that out. Okay, now we're going to move into our hitters, where we're not going to have much in the way of salary that we're going to be able to spend. So I'm starting out with Carlos Perez at catcher. I'm hoping he goes up against Derek Holland today, who is one of the weaker options for you out there on the pitching side of things. And Perez has really kind of started to turn around. He's homered 2 of the last 3 times he started, so 2,800 is a nice steal for him. All right, first base. I'm looking at spending 2,800 on Matt Adams going up against John Lackey. Now, if Adams doesn't play and Brandon Moss is there, I can quickly pivot over to that. I do think that one of those cheap lefty first basemen for St. Louis is probably the route you're going to want to go tonight to save some money. It seems like a good place to save a few bucks. And none of the first basemen tonight are overly appealing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like Pujols a little. The Angels have been hitting lately. Rizzo does look all right, but Wainwright has pitched a little better lately, and Rizzo's ice cold along with the rest of the Cubs. Prince Fielder's a maybe, but I like the St. Louis guys. Second base, I'm going to go with Steve Pearce, who is in the middle of the best stretch of his career. Second base, Steve Pearce going up against Chen, who's another one of the weaker pitchers tonight. Third base, I don't think he'll get big ownership, but I really like Anthony Rendon and what he's doing lately. In his last 10 games, he's managed to score in every single game. He's got, what are we talking, 5 double-digit games in that time period. He's stealing bases. He's getting extra base hits. He's got doubles in 3 of his last 4. He's scoring runs. I think there's a lot to like there. I don't expect him to have good ownership, and he has had a little bit of success against his counterpart tonight. Shortstop, I got Asdrubal Cabrera. Not a sexy pick by any stretch of the imagination, but again, you're looking for salary relief. He's 2,900. He doesn't have one of the elite matchups he's going up against tonight, so that's definitely somebody you can target. He's okay. You know what I mean? You're looking for ways to save money tonight. Moving in the outfield, Ben Revere, 7 hits in his last 14 at-bats, and he always offers you the ability to steal bases. If he can just get on base once, you might get that extra 5 points for a stolen base. Brandon Guyer is up tonight. Assuming he'll bat leadoff again, that's a really good route to go. He hits left-handers well. And then I got a Double Herrera in there going up against probably one of the weaker pitchers tonight in Mike Pelfrey. Herrera could switch. I think that's a lot of money to spend on a guy with limited upside due to his lack of power. But for right now, I kind of like his consistency and what he offers me out of that one home. So that's what I got for today, guys. If you got any questions on Ruckus or any other type of technology, or you want to talk daily fantasy sports, send me an email. We can talk that way. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be on here again giving you some advice. Thanks a lot, and have a great Monday.